Good afternoon. Welcome to Long Live Third Parties Podcast. Free Press Media Press Inc., a third parties books publisher, sponsors this podcast. I'm Andrew Bouchard.
How are you?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Not too bad.
Friends, today we have Craig Cayetano from the Green Party. He's running for city council in Hawthorne, New Jersey. He has worn many hats in the Green Party in activist circles as well. So welcome, Craig.
Thanks so much. It's great to be here today.
We're glad to have you. So if you get started by telling us your background, an introduction to yourself, and how you got involved in the Green Party.
Of course. So I guess indirectly kind of liked or been attracted to politics even as a young kid. I remember obviously my grandmother, having me watch all the conventions, all the pomp and circumstance growing up. And it was, Republican and Democratic conventions. And seeing like big events, when they tear down the Berlin Wall. As I started to get a little bit older and self-actualize, realize I didn't like the literally the war efforts and all the news media and focus on war, the war with Iraq, and a lot of other issues. So, as you start to get older, I hit my teens. I was in debate and I did other sports and stuff like that. But, debate is really where I kind of felt at home, and I picked topics that I could obviously focus on and try to argue and defend. And also flip side, you'd have to, argue against too, which was great about that in high school. So after that, my first political work was, volunteering for Nader's campaign when he ran in 2000. And, that was really where I kind of got into it and, saw that we needed to have other voices and choices. Kind of went to sleep after Obama in 2008. So I kind of meandered voting for, Greens or independents or Democrats over the years, but was really agitated and frustrated at the lack of progress under Obama as promised. So kind of fell off and just started really supporting some of the Greens that were running in New Jersey at the time. But really got heated and back into politics when Bernie Sanders had announced in 2015. I had followed Sanders and his rise into politics, in high school in debate, and learning how he took a different path to get in, and that he was one of the few independents that was able to ascend, and I had a lot of respect for him then. So I was involved with his campaign. Worked in New Jersey with a lot of people I'm still friends with, and some people that I'm still see in circles that that are still doing other good work, trying to bring about some change here in New Jersey even to this day. But after Sanders, had conceded, and you started to see how the whole party, takes you hold and obligations back to the Democratic Party. Obviously, I realized it was just time to really put all my chips and go with the Green Party. So in 2016, I had registered Green after the Democratic shakedown from the primary, and committed then to work for as long as it takes to try to build the Green Party up, exposure in New Jersey, nationally, any which way I can in the spare time that I have.
That's good to hear. Thanks for giving us that background. You were telling me that you were a national delegate for the Green Party as well as the state co-chair. So if you'd like to describe your experience doing that and what that entails, maybe there's people out there that might consider that in the future. That would be informative.
Yeah, so what I've always been saying with the Green Party is the Green Party is the party that you make of it. It's really what you want from it. It's almost like, when you're a kid and they give you the Play-Doh and they say, here's Play-Doh, and you can kind of mold it into what you want it to be. There's a lot of different aspects of the Green Party. Obviously, you have electoral politics, you have policy, you have activism, and you have other things like social media. So there's a lot of different avenues to the party, and I think it's really just good to know that in New Jersey that we've had a good Green Party for nearly 40 years now. And I give my, respect to everybody that had, come before me. So when I got involved in 2016, you start to just build, a little bit of recognition and know and kind of learn where to go. So in 2017, I decided to run as one of our national delegates and uh, involved with trying to vote on certain bylaw changes, proposals, and it's great to see that the national party as an apparatus really does require the input and effort from the states. And that's why I think a lot of people don't realize that Green Party, they always look for a leader. The Green Party has a decentralized outlook. So our steering committee is spread out, and it's not really just one figurehead like you might have in your Democrats or Republicans. It's more about inclusion and having everybody work bottom up and have input and say. So that's one reason why I think a lot of people that might be apathetic or agitated by the two parties or just feel that the main parties aren't interested in them, the Greens can appeal to you on that level alone. And honestly, that's why New Jersey has done so well. We've had some great campaigns. In 2017 for governor, we had Seth Copperdale. We had a few assembly races that year, state Senate race. So we had a lot of people, energy coming into the party after Jill Stein's 2016 presidential race. And obviously from there, it's trying to build up the rest of the party, the registered parts of the party. So I'm proud that we went from a little under 3,000 registered Greens in New Jersey back at the end of 2017 to almost 12,000 registered Greens now. We're at 11,794 registered Greens. So the next largest alternative party in New Jersey, the Libertarian Party, has 20,266 registered members. I can definitely see us getting close to that number this year with all the energy behind our other campaigns that we have here in New Jersey, like Madeline Hoffman for governor, with Heather Warburton for lieutenant governor, Dominique Faison, who just battled and survived a challenge by the Democratic Party down in Legislative District 11 here in New Jersey. We also even have an Ocean County Commissioner race with Barry Bender, who is also our elections chair. So between them and my race for town council and trying to build at the bottom, and we have races at the top, we literally can work and expose a lot of different people to the Green Party. And I think it's beneficial for all of us.
So if somebody wants to do like you did and become a delegate, a national delegate, or another position within their state party, how do they go about doing that?
So obviously, you're going to reach out to your state party and see how their structure is. New Jersey, we even changed leadership since I've been here. We had one co-chair and a vice co-chair. Now we have three co-chairs, and then under our co-chairs, we have committees. So you have a communications committee, you have a policy, you have action committee, you have elections committee, membership committee. So you have different committees that obviously can tailor to your needs. And then from there, you have obviously your chapters. So you have like your locals, your Bergen County or your Hudson County or Essex County, Union County, Ocean County, Monmouth County, so Morris County. So you have Passaic County, a lot of different locals that you can get involved with on a local level. So I think everybody can get involved in some capacity one way or the other, either bolstering your local county chapter, if that exists in your state, or getting involved with your state party and saying, hey, you know what, I can help out with your social media. I can help out, I'm great at spreadsheets and things like that. I can maybe help out with data and management there. You know what, I'm an activist. I'd like to get out in the streets. I want to get out and help that way. You can help by showing up into current actions and events and build up exposure that way. So that's why there's a lot of different ways to appeal to people in this party. And we do have caucuses as well. So nationally, you have your Black Caucus, Women's Caucus, Latinx Caucus. There's a lot of different ways to find a pathway to the party that works for you. And when you get involved, then you have a voice and you have a say. So those caucuses nationally you can be involved with, and they can then appoint you to be a delegate as well to represent the caucus. There's a youth caucus, which is a great big bolstering of energy now in the Green Party nationally, and in New Jersey we have our own yes, Young Eco Socialist Caucus, and we have representatives from them that are on National Youth Caucus and also our GPACs, our Peace Caucus too. So there's ways to get involved, and honestly, it's really about giving everybody a chance and a voice. So when you want to step up, you have the ability to.
So basically, if I'm hearing you right, you're saying whatever your skills, talents, and desires are, there's some place that the Green Party can serve those.
There definitely is. And obviously, I wish, we had more access to money to put out better looking, slick looking media and things like that. I do give credit to some other orgs out there that do focus on very clean, very polished materials, and I'm behind that. Obviously, we need more donations and money to do that if we don't have the volunteers for that. So what I try to do is reach out to people and try to get them involved in some capacity, and maybe we can still do that. So our messaging, our media has been getting better and better nationally and locally over the last few years, and I think people can start to see that. And obviously, with coming out of the pandemic, you have to be able to approach media all way. You have to be able to, handle Zoom meetings. You have to be able to still now transition back to in person. And you're going to have some people more comfortable with one format or the other. But you know what? Everybody's welcome, and we have to work it out together, because I think there's still a demand and a desire for alternative parties like the Green Party. And I think once everybody goes on to the website and reads the platform, gp.org, you've got our four pillars, our 10 key values. I think a lot of people it'll resonate with.
So you were telling me that as you were in those positions, one concern you have to navigate is different points of view. So can you describe what that's like and how the Green Party or yourself in general deals with different viewpoints?
So yeah, you have a lot of people that might have come aboard that were either just Sanders supporters, no longer Sanders supporters, ex-Democrats. You might have some libertarians. You might have some just purely unaffiliated or independent voters, ex-Republicans. So the Green Party platform is gearing towards more of an eco-socialist platform, but on local levels, we can say that we are decentralized. We look at grassroots democracy. There is a lot to appeal to everybody. So there are some people that like to, advocate for one pathway or the other. I'm more of a kind of an inclusionist, and I say let everybody come to the table and let's try to work something out. And that's more noticeable in like my local race. So yeah, my national Green Party platform is not the same platform that I'm going to use on a local political race, because even though in it there's a lot of community-based economics, things like that, that's the stuff that needs to be focused on more than some of the national platform flanks. So you really have to go through, and as you become more comfortable with the Green Party and what they stand for, I think that's where a lot of people see that they can find a home here and make the home that they feel comfortable with here.
So basically, what you do is the Green Party platform is a general guideline. And in your individual area, your community, you contextualize the green views to what's going on in your community.
Exactly. I think that's the best way to handle it. And honestly, when you hear a lot of political apathy going on, it's because they don't feel that either that party, it's just using them for votes, it's just opportunism, these candidates don't stand for anything. What's great about the Greens and us Greens that I've met over the years and I'm friends with, and I can say they're my friends, is that we actually stand for something. Yes, the goal is to win elections and get and to get into office and that end, but also we have influence. We are involved in all these movements. People aren't realizing that Greens are deeply embedded in the Black Lives Matter movement. We are for Free Palestine. We are in a lot of these environmental organizations working to try to make sure that they bring about some change. So we've been involved in Medicare for All. environmental issues, peace activism for decades, and that's instilled in everybody. But I think is now, as we start to realize we're in 2021 and coming out of a pandemic, I would love to see these people come out and identify as Greens more. And I think if that happens and more people come out and say, why am I a Green? Why am I involved with the Green Party? Why is it time to build my local and my state Green Party? Then you're going to finally start to see the tilts and the scales start to shift the other way. I mean, there's a lot of people, that were so happy that we've moved on from Trump presidency. Yes, of course, I'm happy as well. But we're not even getting half of the promises that were made by the Biden camp when they were running for office. I would say we're lucky if we're getting 15% of what they promised. And I think nationally, that issue needs to be raised. And I'm so glad that we had a great presidential candidate in Howie Hawkins and a vice presidential candidate in Angela Walker that have done that. And I give so much credit to all my Greens that continually run for Congress, for U.S. Senate, that bring about those big issues. And they can, because they are, going with their convictions, they go with their heart matters and what they want to see change. So those races always have value, because in the end, even if they don't win that election, they wake up other people to join their party too. And that's why we're starting to see this big spur of registration, I think, in New Jersey. And in New Jersey politics, it is dirty. It is some dirty stuff. And honestly, it's another reason why being a Green makes a lot more sense than trying to be a Democrat or try to reform the Democratic Party.
So you say that in New Jersey it's dirty. What specifically are the issues that are their people in power are doing wrong?
So in New Jersey politics, it's been entrenched for a long time. And again, the reason why we have the system we're in is because you have a lot of people that just fall in line. A lot of like your government contracts are issued by your, now it's called county commissioners. They were freeholders, and they finally changed that to county commissioners. So it's whoever has the power. You see a lot of corruption, a lot of favors, a lot of, you have like some people brought up on charges for corruption and awarding contracts without fair bidding and without fair processes. So, and that's in every city in New Jersey, and I think it can resound with people around the globe and around, especially around this country, is that there's certain cities or certain states that their politics, you can follow the money and see where it's going, and that there's people are getting campaign donations back. So that's another aspect of why, as a Green, I've campaigned for my races for town council, is that I refuse any fossil fuel money, political action committee money, developer money even. I don't want to be beholden to anybody. I just want to be beholden to the people.
So you founded an organization called Voter Choice New Jersey. Would you kindly explain to our audience what that organization does?
So we are the New Jersey wing of working to enact and bring about ranked choice voting into New Jersey. I've been following ranked choice voting since 2016. Obviously, I was aware of it before, but other countries have been using it for 100 years. So it's funny, and I talk to certain people. They're like, "That's just how we normally vote over here in like Ireland and Australia and stuff like that." So, and people don't realize ranked choice voting existed in the United States, also in other cities for a while. What has happened is there's been a lot of attention on ranked choice voting is because of Maine, and Maine had worked to pass a way to get that through. So yeah, Maine had passed through legislation because they're allowed to bring referendum up, and they basically brought a petition up to have the ranked choice put into their legislature, and it took a few years, and they finally got it through, and they finally held a ranked choice election for Congress a few years back, and it's been going well. I mean, what's happened is ranked choice voting takes away from what people like to say as the spoiler argument. Now, as a Green, I don't believe in a spoiler, because I believe anybody that runs for any office earns their votes, because they're working, they're running a campaign, they're out in the streets, they're knocking on doors, they're putting a website up, they're running for that race. So they're not spoiling anything. They're just trying to have a fair and participatory system. So ranked choice voting allows that to happen. And also, ranked choice voting is great because of the fact that you don't have it works as its own runoff. So a lot of these races you'll see sometimes in like Chicago or Arizona or Texas, they had like 10 or 15 candidates that run for mayor or some race, and they didn't have a majority. So then they have to go and have a runoff. So basically, they'll whittle it down from the 10 to 15 to maybe 5. And then from there, is there still a majority and a winner? Maybe, maybe not. So ranked choice voting in itself acts as its own runoff, because if you put every candidate on the ballot and you're able to rank them in order of uh, first preference to your final preference, that gives your vote more depth and more value. Because if your top candidate doesn't seem to win it in the first round, it might take a second or third round or even fourth round, depending on the amount of candidates, to determine the outcome and the winner. So as Greens, we are totally behind ranked choice voting. Obviously, we're also behind proportional representation. That's also going to be another long battle. But I think ranked choice voting is something that's easier to enact, and each state is different. They have different laws. New Jersey, we have to work on certain ways to get it in. It would have to be a local bill, and then also a bill that addresses like the congressional U.S. Senate races. And then technically for governor, we would have to hold a constitutional convention, because we can't just vote to change it. So it's a little more involved in New Jersey, how the government's set up here. But the point of it was, I saw what was going on in Maine. A couple of us Greens had gotten together. We had an idea. I didn't know where it was going to go. I was running a Facebook page, ranked choice voting in New Jersey. I had reached out to groups like Fair Vote and Common Cause, and I never really heard back from Fair Vote. A few of us reached out. We didn't really hear much back from them. Common Cause was doing the work in New York. And honestly, I was happy with them until I found out that they had turned and only wanted to focus on ranked choice in the primary elections in New York. So that's where I kind of said, oh, I'm not going to partner with Common Cause. So I figured we're just going to do this on our own. So it was between a few of us that gotten together and kicked it around. And obviously Voter Choice New Jersey sprung from that. And we've had great input from the Massachusetts group that was trying to push RCV there. And we are still out there. They just had an event on Saturday to go out and inform people in Jersey City. Those events will keep happening to expose everybody to RCV and the benefits of what it has to offer.
Sounds good. I do see a lot of stuff on the Green Party social media about ranked choice voting, so that would definitely help the cause.
Oh, for sure. Because then you can safely say, I'm going to vote Madeline Hoffman for governor. And you know what? Madeline's out there. Madeline's in the streets. Madeline's on social media. I'm going to vote Madeline number 1. And yeah, you know what? My fallback might be Phil Murphy as number 2. You don't know. I mean, that's just, it gives everybody a chance to have their vote have more depth and more value. I hope it does, pan out with New York. I know some people were trying to paint it negatively, but some of the early data is positive, and that's great. It helps to eliminate negative campaigning, and I think it does really help to elevate and allow the space for alternative party candidates to have their voice heard. It has to make them more inclusive, and I think media needs to then feature those people, because they can't predict who's going to win. They can't control the narrative like they do on these major elections. So it will definitely benefit overall.
That sounds good. We wish you success in those endeavors.
Thanks. And obviously, check out Voter Choice New Jersey. Anybody listening here from New Jersey. And by all means, if you're not in New Jersey, you can donate to them and to their cause and effort. And we're going to keep, bringing that to literally one voter at a time.
What's the website for Voter Choice New Jersey?
It's voterchoicenewjersey.com. I'll make sure that you have that, and obviously you can put that into the link too. But it's voterchoicenj.org.
.org. Okay, great. Is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience out there and or people in your area who are thinking about who to vote for?
So, in terms of yeah, the races going on, so New Jersey is one of the two states that are holding a gubernatorial election this year. It's kind of like an off year for a lot of states. So, anybody across the U.S., check us out, see what we're doing. Madeline Hoffman is running a real aggressive campaign for governor. She was featured on one of your previous podcasts, so definitely check out her interview. And I think that it's really just going to come down to getting involved and seeing what your candidates stand for. So, a lot of these races, it's really tough to see what they're going to stand for on a local level. You really want to pull your candidate and make sure they actually do have some sort of a platform and some sort of ideas. It would A lot of these people that run, they're propped up by their local party, or they know somebody and they need somebody to run, so that's why those people get thrown into the office and they're like, well, who are they, what do they really represent? So I just want everybody to do a little bit more research, and that's where things like RCV, ranked choice voting, is going to allow that to happen, because everybody's going to wonder why there are 10 or 15 candidates. Well, let me do a little research on them, and I'm sure that will help overall.
Sounds good. So your website is www.cayetanoforcouncil.com.
That's for the campaign. So the campaign is a whole different topic too. The reason why we have this campaign for Hawthorne Town Council is because of local politics and the fact that in 2015, in my ward in Hawthorne, there was no Democratic challenger to the incumbent Republican. Our town council makeup is a Republican town. A lot of smaller towns in New Jersey are Republican controlled. It's the counties that might be democratically controlled. So the reason why I committed to running was because I kind of knew that there was no real Democratic force here. And honestly, the Democratic Party hasn't done a great job in my town. They actually just shook up their leadership and they've put in other people. One of them is a friend. So he is running, and it's a town council race. Last time was a ward race, so this is at large. So instead of just one seat up in a ward, now it's 3 seats up for at large. So I've run on local issues that pertain to my community. I also get involved in my community. I'm a member of my town's green team, which is an offshoot of our town environmental commission. So anybody that's thinking of running, you can definitely do it. You can run for Board of Education, you can run for town council. I always advise first, obviously, getting your name out there a little bit in the town. And if you don't have children, or you're not a coach, or you don't have any other like big influence in town, get involved with some of the local town committees first, see how they are, and see what you think needs to be changed. And obviously, that's part of your platform for when you run for office. So seeing such a kind of kick the can type of view from the same entrenched Republican council all these years, it's time for some change. And there's no harm in bringing about some change that's going to help the town overall. I'm all about small business. In my ward race, I've had partnered with some of the local businesses. I had a fun event with one of my artist friends who has a shop, and we did like a paint and sip, or we call it a paint and tag, where we did it with environmental themes. So it helps bring attention to his business. We catered with another business, so that brings attention to them. I did a voter registration drive at our local arcade, which helped to bring attention there. I try to find out fun, out of the box ideas to try to make it inclusive for everybody. And I had to run again for the same ward seat last year because the incumbent who had won passed away. So there was a special election. So in the middle of a pandemic where it was really hard to get signatures, I had to use an online link, barcode, and then also go door to door and keep distancing and sanitize and everything. It was a little rough, but in the end, to make a fun event for everybody, I contacted our local ice cream truck vendor, and I asked him, would he be cool with me hopping in the ice cream truck and do what we call a meet and treat? And he's like, yeah, of course. And he's a nice Palestinian man, and I see him all the time, and it was great. For that one event, we got Howie Hawkins that was running for president. We got Madeline Hoffman to come down, and literally Howie Hawkins and me are in an ice cream truck going around my section of my town saying hi to people and just giving out free ice cream. So, I mean, how much more local can you get to something like that, and try to bring up attention to your name and to show up and say, hey, look, I'm here, I'm doing something different, I really care about the community. So I tell everybody, just get involved with your town. Try to join your town green team, try to join your shade tree commission, things like that. Do whatever you can to try to bring about a little change. And when there's time that you need to get more things done, that's when you run for council, because there's a lot of environmental stuff I want to propose. My website has been the same platform for the last few years, has a great green vision and future plan up there, uh, trying to bring trash removal back in house, move it towards a renewable, and also consider getting electric garbage trucks. My old hometown, which is in Bergen County, Bergenfield, just won a $1.2 million government grant to get 2 electric garbage trucks. So obviously, I want to bring that here because I think we could use that money here too. Electric charging stations, which actually helps your small business district because it draws people to your town and say, hey, I'm going to go grab lunch. Let me charge up my car. I'm going to go see a movie. Let me charge up my car. So it's just thinking of different ways, putting solar on our municipal buildings, which ends up paying for itself, and just trying to find ways to revitalize our small business district and help. I mean, it's a lot of stuff that I've been working on and stand behind, and I just appreciate all the supporters the last few years. My platform is so robust and approachable. It doesn't matter if you're a Republican or Democrat or socialist or green. There's something that you can take away from my platform. And if you have suggestions, I always tell people, tell me. I'm here to listen to it. I'm on social media, with Twitter, Green for Hawthorne, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. So I'm all over social media, but I'm also out in the community. And I think that's the main thing, is that people want to see their person that they're going to consider electing, their candidate. They want to see them out in the streets doing what they can and listening to them. So I definitely appreciate everybody and all the work that's going to be going ahead for the next few months.
Excellent. We wish you all the best in your campaign and also in getting that ranked choice voting passed in your area.
Thanks so much. So yeah, everybody, please work on your ranked choice voting in your state if you're not in New Jersey. Otherwise, check out our voterchoicenewjersey.org. Get involved with your Green Party. There's green chapters that need help, with anything. And even if you only have an hour a week, it's greatly appreciated. Whatever you can contribute in whatever capacity, it is welcome. You have a voice. So definitely check out your Green Party chapter by you. And for my people that are in Hawthorne, we're going to be hitting the streets. We're going to hit every house, and we're going to get the word out. So check out Cayetano #4council.com. And we're on Facebook, Cayetano 4 Council, Instagram, Cayetano 4 Council, and Twitter again, Green #4 Hawthorne. So yeah, check us out. We appreciate all the support.
Wonderful. All right. Have a great day, and may everything go super well for you.
Thanks so much. It's great to be here. And hey, keep the podcasting up, and I love to hear it, and I'll keep sharing.
Excellent. Take care.
Take care.